All right, live in Butler, Pennsylvania for Trump's triumphant return here. I got Jack Posobiec here. He just got off the war room a little while ago here. Jack, what's the vibe? What's the energy here like in Butler for you?
Well, it's high energy. It's interesting because it's almost a dual track energy that we're seeing. So number one, you have the excitement, the unity that always comes along with the Trump rally. I think obviously doubled because of the fact of it's Trump's triumphant return. You remember, of course, a lot of the people that are here. I'd say almost 100% of the people who were at the original rally were here. Then plus another 50% or even another 75% because of the historic nature of this. Obviously, they were denied a rally, President Trump here today, to finish the job that he started. But then the second part, of course, is that you do have a ceremonial sort of feeling, a ceremonial emotion, because this is the ground where Corey Compatore lost his life. His entire family is going to be here today. I'm told that a large portion of his family is actually going to be speaking today. So a lot of funds are being raised for him. There's a few tables back over here that people are using. There was a table that where they were selling T-shirts and hats, and the money went to raise for Corey's family. They sold out in less than an hour.
Wow.
They didn't even have anything left to be able to give anybody because people heard that it was going to Corey's family, and they just mobbed the entire thing.
And I noticed, too, they saved him a seat. They put his firefighter jacket in the bleachers for him to be here today, too.
And that's right. That's the right thing to do, because when President Trump said that he wanted to come back and be in the exact same spot, that of course would mean the bleachers were in the exact same spot, which would mean that the seat that Corey was in would still be there. And I think that's the right thing to do. That seat should be saved and kept open.
And the turnout here is amazing. Also, too, the amount of speakers that they're going to have. There's like 3 pages full worth of guest speakers, special attendees. The biggest one, obviously, being Elon Musk, who the day that Trump got shot in the head, he immediately tweeted out, "Trump has my full and complete endorsement." Now that Trump is back, Elon's going to be here to support him. So how big is that?
I mean, it really shows you a sea change that's going on in American politics, and we're witnessing now a historic realignment in politics where you have this future-forward movement of populists and grassroots, and then maverick entrepreneurs like Donald Trump, a maverick entrepreneur, a billionaire, Elon Musk, another billionaire, but a complete maverick, not one who's known for being part of the system, coming in, being here, taking part of this. And it just shows how you've got this grassroots plus the mavericks coming in together that's putting on a new force for the country going forward. But then with the added spectrum, the additional line of effort you have is Maha, and that, of course, RFK is in charge of that. You got Russell Brand in there. You got a lot of other individuals coming up. And so these are the 3 legs of the stool that we're now seeing that have added to the Trump 2016 movement.
Well said. Last thing I want to ask you, Jack, is because you're obviously very prolific Catholic. You're always posting stuff. You always carry the rosaries with you. Got them on you now.
There it is.
Are we going to be able to get the Catholics to the ballot box to vote? Because right now, I can't imagine how a Catholic, seeing Kamala Harris have an abortion bus drive up to her DNC rally, I can't imagine Catholics going for Kamala. Are the Catholics going to come out to support Trump?
Well, if the Catholics support Trump, Trump wins. It's as simple as that. You've got Catholic majorities in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin and Michigan and throughout the Rust Belt. If the Catholics break for Trump, Trump's going to win. Look, Kamala Harris, she is someone who said that if you're a member of the Knight of Columbus, then you shouldn't qualify as a judge in this country. A member of the Knight of Columbus, the guys that run the blood drives, the guys that do cookies and donuts after dinner and coffee and donuts after Mass, I should say, and the guys who run, in my local parish, they do the mulch drives and they carry the mulch. And I volunteer on Saturday mornings. You bring the mulch to folks who can't get it out for themselves. You're going to go after those guys? You're going to go after the Knights of Columbus? It's completely insane what she's done. She's completely, whereas Joe Biden is a lapsed Catholic. He's a Catholic in name only. He's a cafeteria Catholic. We get that. Kamala Harris is anti-Catholic. She is an anti-Catholic bigot. And imagine what she would then do to empower Merrick Garland to go after Catholics when she's someone who's already told us that she's anti-Catholic.
Yeah, shame on her. Last thing, Jack, you got Bulletproof coming out. You guys are covering 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. Tell the listeners about the book and where they can get it.
Well, look, the book is Bulletproof, The Truth About the Assassination Attempts on Donald Trump. Very honored to have Donald Trump Jr. Had written the foreword for this thing. It's going to come out at the end of October. And people said, why did you want to do this? And I said, because this story about Trump's assassination needs to be front and center when it comes to the election, but also as we go forward. We know what the mainstream media does. We know what the New York Times does, the Washington Post, and all the others. And CNN originally had the headline that said, Donald Trump falls off of stage. We can't trust them to do this work and tell the story properly. So not only are we putting that out, we are pushing back on every piece of testimony and every piece of evidence that the FBI is putting put out because I don't trust the federal government. I don't think any of us trust the federal government anymore. And so we've hired our own private investigation team. They're operating right here in Butler today. They're even down in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, and they're going across. Now we're going to have to go down to Florida as well because of the second attempt, and we'll have to go as far as we have to go to Ukraine if we want to. That independent report, the first draft, is going to be, the first edition is going to be in this book. The investigations are going to be ongoing. So when you buy or pre-order Bulletproof, the funds will go to continue the investigation into what went down here on J13 and then what happened later on September 15th in Florida. And my goodness, these 5 assassination teams that Matt Gaetz came on my show and dropped that nuclear bomb, said that's going on. We're going to get to the bottom of that as well.
Yeah, hopefully we do. Matthew Crooks didn't operate alone. Jack Posobiec, new book, Bulletproof. He's also got Unhumans. You can grab that as well. Jack, you're killing it online. You're one of the biggest parts of this movement. Thanks for giving me a few minutes of your time here today.
Thank you so much.